It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've just finished one of the most amazing beers from Mallassepa Brewing Company. It was a Sati beer at 9% ABV. It was like a barley wine and it was just terrific. And I chose to review that first because it was 9% ABV over this 10.4% ABV Imperial Stout, which is a Tiramisu Stout, coffee, cacao and amaretto. And I chose to review it first because of the ABV. I'm already starting to think that maybe I should have reviewed the Mallassepa Sati beer before the Mallassepa Tiramisu Stout, this Imperial Stout. Maybe because of the sweetness. But there's only one way to find out. Beer has travelled to me from Finland. Thank you very much to Mallassepa. And when I review beer, I can only kind of like my best guess, if you like. Which one do I review first? Sati or Imperial Stout? I've chosen to review this on the latter. I'm pretty sure we'll be absolutely okay with it. I'm pretty sure we can readjust our palate into drinking this beer. It's in a Red Bull sized can. Head has dissipated quite quickly, but it had a one finger tan coloured head briefly. Good levels of carbonation, jet black beer in the glass. There's no light bleeding through this glass of beer whatsoever. The beer has a little bit of alcohol legs. Can you see the size of the glass? Can you see that some of the beer is kind of sticking to the outside of the glass? That's called alcohol legs. That shows that the beer is indeed kind of like what they're saying it is, 10.4% ABV. It looks fantastic with that small amount of carbonation. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. Whew, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yes, there's going to be levels of sweetness here to balance off that roasted malt, but what's really important for me in this beer is the fact that they have gone with some roasted malt in the beer. It's so easy. It's so very easy these days, especially UK breweries. This beer being from Finland. UK breweries, I don't know, they seem to be infatuated with making an Imperial Stout really sweet and too cloying and too basically undrinkable. But this definitely has some roasted malt to it, which is a traditional way of brewing Imperial Stout and something that I would expect from Imperial Stout. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Wow, something just hit me. Like a hammer. Hammering malt. Like that man there has just hit me with a hammer. That hammer. That mallet. Oh, that is fantastic. I'm not sure if you just heard the cat on the roof. We had these cats about 5 months ago. And the one cat eats as much as he can. I think because they were like strays. They were really skinny when they got here. the one cat has put on, he's like a Rottweiler. He just ran across the glass roof. I'm not sure if you heard it. Boom, 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 boom. He's like a sumo wrestler cat. Oh, that is fantastic. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. I had a few tastes of the beer because I wanted to clear the Sati. I wanted to clear that Sati beer out from my system. But there's something in here that is very familiar to me, and I'm trying to work out, trying to put my name on it. There's a bean. There's a bean that they use to make Imperial Stout. Tonka. That's it. I think it's Tonka. I think there's Tonka in here. Tonka's a wonderful flavour, especially when you can't quite work out what it is, because it's such a mystery. The only time I ever have Tonka bean in any of my food or drink is beer, and it's quite scarce. You don't really see it that much. You don't really taste it that much because brewers, it must be expensive. It must be expensive to brew with it, but it's such a unique flavour, Tonka bean. It's almost kind of like fruity in its own sense. It's almost like some kind of weird mixed fruit flavour is Tonka bean. But it works so well. It works so well with Imperial Stout. This brewery is going from strength to strength. There's coffee in the beer, there's chocolate, there's caramel, there's great mouthfeel. The alcohol is just tickling my insides wonderfully well, and I'm really enjoying it. I think an Imperial Stout works really well when it's kind of warming you from the inside out. When that coffee and that amaretto, that's, maybe it's not Tonka bean. Maybe it's the amaretto just doing its thing. Amaretto's a funny flavour too, isn't it? My mistake. I haven't even read the can. Not the back of the can anyway. Right, as soon as I seen amaretto there, I was thinking maybe it's not Tonka bean, maybe it's amaretto. Yeah, it's definitely amaretto. Amaretto is another interesting liquid. Interesting liquid. Cacao, coffee, chocolate, coffee, caramel, good mouthfeel, amaretto. I mean, this is bliss for me. This really doesn't feel like a chore. This doesn't feel like hard work. Oh, my neck. Ooh. Winter's coming. I think it's all in the wonderful language of Finland, so I'm not going to be able to read it. Oh yes, I am. The Tiramisu Stout delights as a luxurious dark beer marrying rich espresso, velvety cocoa, smooth amaretto, crunchy cookies and a luscious mascarpone for a sublime dessert experience in every sip. It's brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant beer. Stone the Crows, 10 out of 10. This brewery from Finland. Now, I will say, we've started initial discussions for me to go to this brewery and possibly brew with them, definitely drink some of their beer. But I've never been to Finland before. I've got to go to Hungary for the first time. I'll be there. I'll be in Hungary this time next week. I'm going to Budapest. And I'm going with a fantastic brewery there in Budapest. Off the top of my head, I'll get to the brewery, but I know I'm going to Budapest. But yeah, I need to talk to this wonderful Mallassepa, because I've been drinking their beer for years now. I've been drinking their beer for years, and it feels right. It feels right now. It feels right. It feels like the right time to go to their brewery and drink some of their beer and maybe brew with them and just hang out. Just hang out with Mallassepa. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the Tiramisu Stout. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Oh, cheers.